Angel says, was there ever a point in your life where the people in your life constantly compared you to others more successful? What was the tipping point in your life where you officially said, fuck off? Well, you're always compared, whether directly or indirectly. You feel it. It doesn't have to be necessarily a direct comparison, but when someone is talking about someone's accomplishment, which is really not an accomplishment, and your accomplishment has been far bigger or more serious than that, but that person in the family or among friends gets a certain kind of a mention about how important his accomplishment or her accomplishment's been, even though it's not a direct comparison to you, you feel neglected or you feel deprived of this recognition, because what you have done, you've done whatever that other guy or other person has accomplished long before and far better and in bigger ways, but they're now praising that person. So these things should not mean to you that it would have any bearing on you. It just has a bearing on that person who wants to praise the other person for whatever reason. But it's not supposed to mean that it is taking anything away from you. But what turning point, the tipping point comes when you become aware of the fact that you don't have to meet anybody else's standards. You just have to meet the standards of being decent human, being positive to your society and people that you affect on your daily basis. You don't harm anyone. You don't, create, anything negative in other people's, affecting other people's lives. And so, but you do become fully focused that you don't have to meet anyone's expectations in you. That is not where you get your value. When you realize that your worth and value is from you, not from what opinion somebody gives about you, or how they praise you or don't praise you, you understand that the fact and the truth is more important, not how many likes you get on, let's say, the Facebook of life, how many people praise you or don't praise you. Then you will naturally say that fuck off part, and that becomes your default way of thinking, which would be a healthy way. You shouldn't give a damn. You should just focus on the standards of your life, the high standards that you choose in your life, to be a decent person, to be a fair person, to think deep and judge well, and do your daily affairs according to what you think it would be best for you, your family, for the community you live in, for the humanity as a whole. And then there is nothing else to be expected from you, and you shouldn't give a shit who says what, having lived the way we just talked about you have chosen to live. And the tipping point, there is no tipping point. It's just that you decide and that's it. It doesn't have to be a tipping point. It doesn't have to get so bad for you to click. You just recognize that you don't give a shit. You shouldn't. Who are they? Who died and left them in charge to give you your value? To compare or not compare. If they compare you positively, then you're good. If they don't compare you positively, then you have to be worried about, or be apprehensive, or uncomfortable with that. Who are they? They themselves need somebody else to affirm them, if that's the case. Who said that they're the where the buck stops? They're the source of giving value to everyone. Who gives value to them? So if that's the case, everybody is looking for somebody else to affirm them. So that means fuck off to all of it. Just I'm using French too often today. So